Welcome back to 98.5 WNUW LP Aston. The time is 9:04 a.m. on a Friday morning. We are inside the Newman Radio studio. My name is Owen, and with me today, my co-host is going to be Rel. Rel, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me today, man. I can't wait to have some great discussions.
Absolutely. Happy to have you on. We were talking about some NBA stuff in the break, and we cannot wait to get into that. Obviously, the NBA season is now in full swing, and with that, it has made me want to go seek out a basketball court and play. Now, I haven't played in a while. I had told Rel that, but he was okay. He was still rocking with me. He was all right with taking me out to the court, and let me tell you, he let me get 4 when we played. He let me get 4, and then he absolutely turned on the Jets and started cooking. How long have you been playing basketball?
Yeah, man. Well, to be fair to you, I didn't let him get 4 guys. Like, I didn't want him to, score the points,
You definitely switched a little. You definitely switched tempos a little bit.
I got to give him all the credit. It was a good little game. It was a good warm-up game. But, no, in terms of just playing basketball, like, I played for my team in middle school. But once I didn't make the team in high school, I kind of stopped trying to, play organizational basketball, even though I've played in a men's league this past summer, so I actually like doing men's leagues. But yeah, high school and college ball, that was a no sir for me. I just always stayed active, always went to the courts. LA Fitness though, just always playing.
I've always wanted to get out to play at a gym of some sort. Now, I haven't actually been able to get some public runs at like a LA Fitness style type place yet. The one gym that I used to go to didn't have a basketball court, so I was hoping to get some hoop in there, but I never did. And now, recently, my friend goes to this other gym, which there's some older folk in there. They do some training, they do some pickleball, stuff like that. It's pretty low key. And I went over there to play, and they were doing training on the court. So I haven't been able to get hoops in for a very long time. But yeah, man, it's a great sport. I think it's the best sport to play with your friends. A lot of people say that basketball is the best sport to watch. I don't know. I think American football is still number one for watching sports. But to play with your friends, if you just have a ball laying around, I don't think anything can beat basketball. Now, after we played last night, we seen some other people in the gym, so we decided to run some threes, and we picked up your boy. What was that kid's name? Jacob. That's right.
Yeah,
now let me paint you a picture, listener. Jacob is my height, maybe a little bit smaller, 5'10", 5'11", and this man is going up and he is dunking the ball. I swear, I kid you not. He's throwing himself lobs in layups and dunking the ball. I was looking for a soundbite I could play right there for when he was dunking it, but I don't know if I found one that's good enough on the timing. We'll come back to that. But have you ever dunked? Have you been able to get up and throw one down yet?
Only in my dreams.
Only in your dreams?
Yeah,
You'll have to get some training from Jacob.
Shout out to Jacob, man. That dude is definitely tough, 5'11", dunking. But, me at just 5'9", I could only dunk on a 9.5 level court. I have done that a few times.
We were in there and we're playing 1-on-1 and we're like going back and forth. When we finish the game, this kid comes down and just like just jumps up and just throws one down.
Casually slams it down.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So you probably like played a little before. And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't even come over here to play. I just came over here to practice dunking. And I'm like looking, I'm like slightly looking down at his eye. I'm like taller than him. I'm like, what is going on right now? It was surreal. But yeah, man, some people really got it like that. Some guys have some serious bounce.
Yeah, shout out Jacob. He makes some really great content as well. Make sure you go follow him.
We'll be hooping with him soon enough.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I wanna if we play, I wanna have that guy on my team too. He can shoot it too. That's another thing. Yeah. 100%. So anyway, what we were getting at was we made our way down to the other side of the court and we played threes against this team, and we did win. But things got a little chippy, and I decided to head out of there. Hopefully, we'll be back over there playing again. Do you know if the intramurals for basketball is starting up soon? Because I do the volleyball, but they didn't say anything about basketball starting up.
So I've played intramurals the past 2 years. It typically starts around like January. So
even later, dang.
I think me and Jacob were on a team last year, so I think you'll be a perfect addition to the team. Let's make it happen. We got a big 3.
There we go. There we go. Slashing wing. There we go. And I tell you what, man, I used to like myself defensively, but after last night, I don't know. I think I might need to. I think I might need to do some stretching and re-grip the bottom of those shoes a little bit. That was brutal. Somebody else that has been playing absolutely electric right now, we're crossing over back into the NBA, is Tyrese Maxey. Now, off air, I said that I wanted to start my MVP campaign early. Now, obviously, I don't think he's getting it this year. I think Jokic is getting it this year, and you think Shea's getting it this year. But
I do think that, yeah.
do you think that Maxey has MVP potential? Once again, 50 points in the OT win last night against the Bucks. Do you think he has MVP potential? And if so, can he achieve that with the Sixers, or will he have to go somewhere else to get that award?
Absolutely. I think Tyrese Maxey is making himself a legitimate, top 15 player case. I think right now he's a top 5 guard. I might even have him number 4. And he just continues to improve and get better every year. He's, I think, leading the league in minutes, too. He's still young. He's still fresh. So can he win MVP? I absolutely think he can. He's just playing in a, really difficult era with some of these, Europe or players not from the U.S., Shea, Giannis, Jokic, Luka. It's kind of their era right now. So if he happens to win an MVP during this time, it would be super, super tough. But he just got some, good people he's battling with, to be honest. Even his buddy Embiid, he's not from here. He end up, getting an MVP. So it's definitely possible, but it's just going to be hard.
MVP was something else. When that guy was on the top of his game, that's like the fun little, oh, if he was healthy, or oh, if this, that, and the other thing. That whole narrative is fun. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that whole thing with Maxey at all. Maxey's a good defender too. He came into the league. That was kind of the main thing, because he could shoot the three a little bit already. He couldn't shoot it like he's shooting it now. He's shooting it like 46% right now, but the main thing I think was shoring up the perimeter defense and putting some meat on those bones. And he absolutely has
which he has done,
excelled in that category.
Them Kentucky guards are looking like a lock to be a good NBA player, at least a solid one.
I seen a meme about that the other day. It was one that didn't work out. I can't remember who it was. It was like
maybe Briscoe, Isaiah Briscoe.
If you want to, or was it it might have been Tyler Eulis? I can't remember. It was a meme about one of them two. It was like, if you want to draft a Kentucky guard in the first round, you're good. And then it was some, like, I think it was like a Suns fan, some fan, whoever drafted Eulis, like, piped up and was getting flamed on X. X is a horrible place, man. It really is. It's a fun app to look at news, but people just be arguing on there. Last night in that game, a name that not everybody is familiar with, 23-year-old Ryan Rollins, young guard from the Milwaukee Bucks, actually ended up finishing with not just 32 points. He had 14 assists, 6 rebounds, played 40 minutes, most minutes on the team, and Doc Rivers made a comment saying that he was not getting enough foul calls. This is going to transform this conversation into foul this, foul that. A lot of times when I'm talking about the NBA, that always happens. Maxey, one of the, you say top 5, maybe top 4 guards in the league. He's getting to the line.
Absolutely.
As you get more aggressive and as you get more respect in the league, you get those foul calls. Doc Rivers is saying here Ryan Rollins was not getting those calls last night. Whether you think that's fair or not, I don't know. How much do you think the contract and the stardom plays into the whistle these days? Because you're a Shea guy. I'm not a Shea hater, but I was on the back of the train kind of looking at what was going on last year saying,
right,
yo, what's up with these whistles? How much do you think that has an effect?
No, I think that's definitely a fair point. You definitely think that the star player treatment is real. I'm pretty sure that's been real since the 90s, 80s. You know what I mean? But I do think that there is a such thing as foul baiting, and some players do it. But I do think players like Maxey, and even to me, Shea, are like just really good scorers who people just end up fouling. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyrese Maxey's super fast off the dribble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then he's gonna shoot the 3 if you play any space back. So I think people just getting their hands on him, putting their hands in a cookie jar, and then getting caught. Um, Shea, I know a lot of people have a lot to say about him, but that was his first season averaging that many free throws, and he's been averaging 30 for this is like his fourth, fifth year now. So I'm really don't want to hear the Shea stuff. I just think he's a really great scorer, and then if we actually watching him play, I don't think he'd be trying to foul B. He's trying to get buckets. That's what it looks like to me. Like it don't look the same as Harden or Embiid playing. I don't think Shea plays like that. I don't think it's that bad. Where they're deliberately trying to get the foul call.
I think there was a couple times last year. I think Embiid's case is like he's got people telling him to go to the ground, and it just ends up looking really bad. Because then as he goes down, he's trying to hurt
7'1".
He's trying to hurt other people too.
300.
Throwing himself around. Yeah.
That's probably causing some injuries always on the ground, too. That's one thing I never liked about Embiid's game. I feel like he flails and, throws himself to the ground a tad too much. Yeah,
I think that was one of the things they told him to do because he had so many knee problems early on. But it's definitely detrimental to the health of other players. I don't want to necessarily call him a foul baiter. I think he's late in his career now. We're going to start to see the
to be honest, I think
savvy moves here and there.
He's a bigger foul baiter than a Shea.
Not now. He can't be now because he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Man, a couple of years ago, for sure, 100%.
As a player, I just think he just always looks for fouls rather than Shea. I think he's trying to score more
so
when he
right
has
now,
the ball.
In the NBA right now, more so?
Are we just saying that because he hasn't, been on the floor? When he's on the floor,
because he hasn't been on the floor. Yeah,
in his 20 minutes he's played, I still feel like he's playing very similar to before, maybe taking a few more jumpers, so that may not get him as many foul calls, but I don't think his game has really changed. And then when he's fully healthy, I think we're going to go back to seeing 10 free throws a game for Embiid as well.
Yeah, he's going to get him anyway, though. A player of that size, he's going to get him anyway. He doesn't need to go off the dribble at a guy and then do the rip through and throw the legs back, like where his knees are in there. You know what I'm talking about when he does that.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to do that, but he does that. Yeah, he doesn't. He would get fouled. I feel like he would get fouled more if he didn't do that. If he just back guys down, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was
saying.
that anymore. I've been saying this since 2019, 2020.
Stop doing that.
I think Embiid would literally be the best. He would be better than what we perceive him now if he stopped trying to play like Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
I think he tries to catch it in the mid post too much. He's not catching it on the block as much as he should. For him to always be the biggest player on the court, always weigh the most, I feel like you settle too much. That's always been my biggest gripe with
He sits at 3-point line way too often. He'll sit out there for a whole offensive possession. He'll take a whole possession off. He'll wait for the rebound to come out and then throw his hands up like he's gonna get now he gets the next shot after he didn't work for that rebound at all.
He lets players off the hook. And then, seeing someone who's another dominant center, I don't want to just compare him to Giannis and Jokic, but those two players are way more efficient than a Joel Embiid. So,
harder work ethic, too.
Yeah, so I feel like.
And availability is the best ability.
100%, man.
Yeah, Jokic's efficiency is just. That's just ridiculous. Tell you what,
even Giannis, I know he may not shoot the 3 ball well, but
we got to turn this into a Jokic conversation somehow because I think that's where my mind is at right now. Is I can't help talking about Nikola Jokic and how good he's been this year. I'll make my MVP case for him. You can make your MVP case for Shea. But first, we're gonna take a short break here on 98.5 WNUW. Don't go anywhere. We got some more basketball talk coming up after the break, and also a little bit on Thursday Night Football last night. There's a couple things I want to hit on because I'm upset with how bad Josh Allen is. So don't go anywhere. Yeah, I need water, bro. My shit's parched. There you go. That's No Problems. Chance the Rapper, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. Whole lot of good tunes here on the station. 98.5 WNUW. Back from the break. Owen and Rel. We were talking NBA before we left off. Having a little Drake debate in the break there about whether or not he really got it like that, which I think he does. But another guy that I think has it like that, Nikola Jokic, putting up some pretty ridiculous numbers so far this season. Now, nobody is finishing ahead of the Thunder in the West. I think everybody knows that already. They are too stacked, and they're off to too hot of a start for anybody to try and keep up with them. Now, the Nuggets look like they're only 3 games back, but trust me when I say that OKC is getting to 70 games. I think preseason their number was 67 or 68 and a half.
That was their projected?
Yeah, and that was their over-under on the apps and whatnot. And, man, that's even still. That's the highest number that we've ever seen coming into an NBA season.
Mm-hmm.
It was higher than the 70-win Warriors the year after.
Yep.
Their line was lower than that. So, and I think that the Thunder could still even break it. But the basketball that Jokic is playing right now for the Nuggets, I think he gets the MVP. I need you to build me a case for Shea. How does Shea steal the MVP over Jokic this year with Jokic shooting the ball so well and scoring so much and having a 14 plus minus?
I just want to make it known that I'm a huge Nikola Jokic fan, and I'm not saying Shea deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I was always a fan of Jokic. Like, I always thought he was better than Embiid. It was never a time I thought Embiid was better.
Not one season?
Not
one season?
Because I'm the type of NBA fan that, these MVP awards, if you listen to my podcast, like MVP awards, Defensive Player of the Year awards, like these type of awards, I don't think contribute necessarily to who's the best player in the world. Like, I don't think, you being MVP makes you the best player in the world. Take, for instance, like Russell Westbrook in 2017. He wasn't a top 5 player, but he won the MVP. You know what I mean? With that being said, I just believe that Shea continuing to average 35 and 6 on the best team in the NBA, playing some great defense, because people love to talk about they're a great defensive team. If Shea was a liability, that team wouldn't be a great defensive team. Shea also has to get credit for what he's doing defensively.
He was a defender first in the NBA. Everybody forgets that. And the Clippers, man, the Thunder saw the potential. Sam Presti saw the potential, but they also saw the work ethic. You like guys who are dogs, man. Shea's a dog.
And Jokic is putting up terrific numbers again. I think Jokic is the numbers guy. Like, when it's all said and done, I think his numbers might look the best out of anyone during the 2010s or even for a career, right?
Which is why that's a whole nother thing. Yeah,
it's also about impact, winning on games, and what you're doing for the league and also your team. And I just feel like Shea bringing a team that was a dumpster fire, they were picking. It's the reason they got all these early draft picks. OKC wasn't projected to be as good as they were last year. They weren't supposed to be this good so fast. All of these dudes are 25 and under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And him leading that squad, I personally believe that he has a really good shot. And if they win 70 games, no matter the numbers Jokic put up, I think Jokic or Shea's 32, 6 and 6 will win him the MVP.
Well said. It's tough for me to disagree with that. The Thunder are absolutely a well-oiled machine that are firing on all cylinders right now. And Shea, in his last 5 games, 33, 23, 33, 30, 28. And before that, it was 35, 30, 35. So he's going to continue to score the rock at will whenever he feels like it.
Playing a few less minutes this year, by the way, because they're blowing teams out
36,
in the
29,
quarter.
29, 29.
They're up 25 to 30 going into the fourth quarter in a lot of these games. So you also have to keep that in mind. He's playing less minutes than he did his MVP year.
That's true. That is true. Now, over to my man, Nikola Jokic. If we look at his last couple,
his best teammate hasn't even played a game yet, and Chet has also missed like 5 games. So he's doing it with no matter who is out there. Essentially, he's doing.
So do you think the role gets reduced? Do you think those numbers drop off a little bit
if J-Dub was there?
If J-Dub's back?
No, because he averaged 30 for the past 3 years. So
yeah, that's another thing. People forget J-Dub can score at will too.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun player to watch. Another guy everybody thought was going to be a defender first. and then all of a sudden
He's still a really good defender.
erupted.
A lot of these dudes.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They all already had that. The Thunder drafted reverse, man.
Mm-hmm.
They all already have that, and then they teach them the
Play fast, play hard.
yeah afterwards, which is nuts. Jokic triple double in the last 3 games, and then he had 2 games before that. Minutes obviously playing more than Shea, but even still in a game with 28 minutes, he's got 26, 9 and 9, and then 32 minutes, he's got 32 on 10 of 14 shooting. I'm a big fan of Jokic, not just because the numbers follow him around everywhere he goes. I'm a big analytics guy, but he plays the game right. He's always like this.
Mm-hmm.
He's always looking around, looking over his shoulder. He's always making impossible passes. To give you another stat other than the 14 plus minus, which is extremely high. I've never seen it that high before. He does have a true shooting of over 70% right now. Last week it was all the way up at 77%. I can't even wrap my head around that. Shooting the ball at 64% from the field. Everything that he is doing, everything he touches turns to gold. And then, have you heard the new Brian Windhorst stat on the Nuggets?
If you're talking about the stat where during the 2020s, he's leading, if you guys don't know, Nikola Jokic is leading the 2020s decade in points, rebounds, assists, and steals for the whole decade.
That is not the stat that I was talking about, but thank you for some free Jokic press right there. Yeah. See, there we go. Hey, man, look, see, I didn't even know he was leading in all those categories.
Listen, man, in my opinion, Nikola Jokic was the best player in the league, and I think that him and Shea is 1A, 1B, and then there's everyone else. That's just how I think about Jokic. Like, I think he's gonna go down. He's already an all-time great. I just want to make it known that I am a really big Jokic fan.
He's definitely going to be, I think, a top 5. He'll probably be, in this new age, I like to make this argument. First, let me give you the statistic. Per 100 possessions, per every 100 possessions, the Nuggets are scoring 150 points, which is the most in the league.
Insane.
It's like 30-something more than the next guy, than the next team. So they are absolutely a force to be reckoned with in the West. Obviously, a 7-game Western Conference Finals between the Nuggets and the Thunder would be great. That would feed families. But going to the points per 100 possessions for career, guess who number 1 is?
Points per possession for career.
Points per 100 possessions.
Per
every
100
100 offensive possessions, who's getting the most points? This is not teams. I'm not talking about just like the Nuggets and Jokic anymore. Now I'm talking about just players now. Somebody we talked about already. Who's first?
Ooh, I will have to say someone who gets shots up while they're out there. No way, it's Embiid.
Embiid. 42.3 points per 100 possessions. So he's ugly basketball. Hurt all the time, but this is just another thing. Every time I go to look in the record books, he just shows up, and I'm just reminded of how good he could have been if he was healthy. Jordan right behind him at 40, Luka behind him at 40, KD behind him at 36.
Sorry, I just
LeBron behind
talk about it.
But no, my point is getting to LeBron behind him at 36, Donovan Mitchell at 35, and then you get to number 8 all time, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, already number 8 all time in points per 100 possession. Now, obviously, Jokic isn't even on here. He's not like a score first kind of guy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in his recent years of success, has already stepped. He's right behind Kobe. He's 0.01 behind Kobe. He'll pass him this year in points per 100 possessions. He could end up passing Embiid all time on this list, but man, that's very interesting. We go looking for one stat and we find another. Shai is already burrowing his way into the record books. There's so many fun names on here, but Trae Young is on here.
Yeah.
Above Damian Lillard, Kyrie, James Harden.
I could see this list being a lot of just players currently rather than from previous eras. This is the scoring era, That's another reason why stats, you can't just go off raw stats all the time. You know what I mean? Some players, they're going to make a bigger impact than what the stats may show. maybe with their leadership, their greatness, their mentality. So I also look into that when I'm looking at these players. And I know you told me about a great stat about Embiid, but I feel like those other three areas is where Embiid lacks, and that's why he's not an all-time great. And I don't
You
want
don't
to.
think he's an all-time great?
We can't give him the excuses for the injuries. I just every year he's been in the league for 10 years now. We can't say or 9 years now. We can't say the reason he doesn't have a championship is because of injuries. You weren't injured every year to play. You know what I mean? So he has to take some fault. I think the Sixers have had great rosters over the past 9 years. You They have
No championship rosters. The closest we got was with
they've
Butler.
100% have championship rosters.
Nah.
You
The closest
can't say
the closest we got was
no,
with
no,
Jimmy
no.
Butler.
You can't say a team with multiple All-Stars and other
Nah,
players.
Maxey wasn't ready yet to be a
You
playoff point guard.
and then I would understand what you were saying if they were in the Western Conference. If you're talking about Eastern Conference teams, there's no way Joel Embiid has never made an Eastern Conference Finals. That's just insane to me. You can't say he's lost to all the teams he's lost to are better than his teams. That's not true. That's just not true.
I don't know. I
That's
think you're giving the Sixers a little
Raptors.
bit of credit.
The Raptors were not better than the Sixers in 2019. In 2020,
No? With Kawhi?
in 2021, the Hawks were not better than the Sixers.
No, they weren't.
In 2022,
No, Ben Simmons. All right.
in 2022, the Heat was not better than the Sixers. In 2023, the Sixers had the best record in the league. They should have beat the Celtics when they were up 3-2. You know what I'm saying? We can't just, Embiid was hurt. I'm not going for that. And I'm a Sixers fan.
I don't know. I mean, obviously we're better than the Hawks, but I don't know I think the Raptors and the Celtics were better NBA teams top to bottom because then you start to talk about what I was saying earlier with the 3-and-D guys. We had like none and they have a plethora. So they're building their roster to have role players, and we put all our balls in the Embiid court, and
I can't.
it didn't work
I don't
out.
agree with that.
I think they have way better teams.
I think
bro. The Sixers have not had that.
What it comes
teams.
down to is who has the better team. And in 2018, like let's think about it. You're talking super young Celtics team. Like I thought the Sixers had a solid chance in that. Like I just think that Joel Embiid just had chances. He's had good enough teams. We can't be like, Jokic has good teams. Jokic's teams has been maybe even worse than Embiid's teams, and he's made a chance to make it to Western Conference Finals and a final. So, like I said, I'm just not giving no excuses for Embiid because Jokic never played with a super team or even a superstar,
I don't know about superstar. Jamal Murray's been good for him when he's there.
He's not a superstar.
But he is the best playoff riser of all time statistically. There is something to say for that.
Not better than Butler.
Here, I'll pull it up for you.
Butler,
there is.
we've seen him take an even worse team than Embiid's had. And
No, I'm not disagreeing. And Jimmy Butler went to the NBA Finals. I mean, that's
twice.
That's
ridiculous. And that's exactly who
ridiculous.
Embiid had as a teammate. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't get nothing done with that. He had Maxey and Harden. That's a great duo to have. Couldn't get it done with that. We just gotta be real with Embiid's career, man.
Yeah, I don't want to give him any excuses. He's not exactly what he's panned out to be at this point in time. I think that he should have medically retired this year. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the most out of him on the court down the line.
I was kind of upset he played in the Olympics in 2024. I think that's what hurt his.
You think so?
The injury, yeah, because he didn't take time off. He was playing hurt during the Olympics. I understand getting you a gold medal, but I think coming into the year next year, he wasn't worried about that at all, and that's why, the Sixers missed the playoffs and what he ended up missing like 50 games.
Well, Paul George too. It wasn't just Embiid. I don't think you can pin the whole thing on Embiid.
I don't even mention Paul George when I talk about the Sixers.
It's a whole pool of issues. They've been playing ugly basketball. When you think of teams that play like good-looking basketball, like you think of teams like the Thunder, you think of teams like the Cavaliers, you think of teams like the Celtics when they're feeling it. And obviously in the Western Conference, teams like the Rockets are absolutely electric on defense, and on offense they have all that size. They're dunking on guys. And then you have teams like the Suns. Even when they get going, they have those young guys now. And when Devin Booker gets hot, that's something to see, especially since he's like really playing the point guard role this year. But then you have the Sixers, who up until this year played ugly basketball, bro. It was no system. We didn't even have a system. Every player we got, it was a new guy to give the ball to and say, "Yo, give the ball to Embiid." It was super frustrating, and I feel like a lot of the moves we made weren't beneficial. Because when he was on the court, when he was off the court, we had all these other guys on the court, and it didn't look right. I
think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
You think I think they play ugly basketball, ugliest basketball.
Yeah, you say they. I think it starts with Embiid, like in the foul baiting. I think like in terms of watching,
even when he's not out there, though, I'm saying when he's missing time, we're losing a ton of games. We don't have any supporting cast.
But that was more so just last year. I think all the previous years, he's like I said, he's had the teams to go at least to an ECF. I don't think that him not having an ECF.
I think you're giving Daryl Morey way too much credit right now. I think.
Think about it. He's been in the league since 20.
You were just talking about
he missed his first 2 years, right? So I'm not going to say 2014, but since 2016-17, it's 2020. It's about to be 2026. You're telling me Joel Embiid has never made an ECF, and you think that sounds right? Is none of it is his fault?
Some of it's his fault. Yeah, I'm not saying none of it's his fault. I'm saying it's also the fault of Sixers playing ugly basketball. I mean, you're saying these are good teams, bro. Mike Scott, Ben Simmons, Shake Milton, like these players are terrible. I mean, Al Horford was our backup, and he was playing better than Embiid. You know what I mean? We're paying Eric Gordon way too much money as soon as we got him back then. Like this Furkan Korkmaz, bro. Those teams were terrible. You can't tell me they were good. I mean, obviously they were good, but
they were good.
They were not good enough to be NBA champions.
I've seen
Embiid was healthy,
Butler
I don't think we were
bring Caleb Martin
and Gabe Lewis. Yeah, but that's mindset. That's what we were talking about in there.
Yes.
The Sixers don't get guys like that. We have Maxey.
But
we had Daniel House, and then we got rid of him.
If he had that mindset as the leader of the team, as the best player, if you're that leadership guy, you will make your other players better, and that's what Jokic does that Embiid doesn't. That's what makes Jokic better than Embiid. Because Embiid has Embiid
doesn't have the mindset.
Athletic ability. Well, maybe not as much now, but he's had the athletic ability over Jokic. We know that. We've never seen kind of a 7-1 guy move like this. But it's the other things that bring Embiid down.
If he's not being a good leader out there, then all these guys I just listed in the past, I mean, Tobias Harris, bro, all these people that I listed, they're not going to want to play. They're not going to want to play for him. And that definitely contributes to it.
But I don't want to be the Embiid hater.
Bro, listen, I'm a huge Embiid hater now. I used to love him, but
listen,
I don't think that
before this year,
I don't think that it should be.
I'm saying it now, and I don't want nobody to be surprised. This will be the year the Sixers make the ECF. And this roster you can't say is another bad roster. Like, this is another great roster for Embiid, which he's continually had, and he has Maxey. He has a solid Paul George, not prime Paul George, but a solid one. You have a solid Quentin Grimes, a solid VJ Edgecombe, like solid Kelly Oubre. This is a deep team. This is a deep roster.
Bro, I agree. We finally have guys with that mind. See, now you're speaking my language. I was just saying we had all these teams that didn't play good basketball, and they didn't have the heart. And
they had good teams, but this is it.
They didn't have the heart, though.
Good team. This is also another good team.
You can see the stark difference between VJ Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes, and Kelly Oubre than Ben Simmons, Mike Scott, Shake Milton.
The reason
right?
I was going to say they make the ECF is just because the East. Tyrese Halliburton is gone for the Pacers.
Bro,
Jason Tatum is gone for the Celtics.
That's true, but the
Dame left the Bucks. No Trae Young right now. Like, I just think the East is super wide open, and if any year, this would be the Sixers' year.
I agree.
Why I'm leaning them.
I agree
ECF.
that the East is open right now, but you got to remember, bro, some of these teams are also getting better. The Pistons look unbelievable this year. I think they'll probably win the East this year. The Cavs. Now, the Cavs are going to maybe finish ahead of the Sixers record-wise, but they've been running into the same thing where they have all this talent and they can't get anything done in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Sixers over the Cavs in a 7-game series.
I do too.
That I
And
do like the Sixers over and I don't think we should sleep on the Hawks or the Magic yet. I think those are two teams that would give the Sixers more fits than say the Cavs because of their length and their athleticism. But I agree the Sixers are definitely way better this year than they have been in years past. This could be the year that they make a cheeky little run in the playoffs.
We'll see how it goes.
You think the Pistons are going to win the East, though? You with me on that or no?
I
love Cade.
think it's possible, definitely. And I think he's a great player, but, it usually takes the time for you to get into the playoffs before, you take the step to the championship. I think that they're going to need a year of just being good, doing what they're doing now, and everyone getting a little older, a little more wiser. I'm not going to say they win the championship this year. I think they're a first or second round exit, and next year we'll have more expectations for them. Next year they might even make a move and try to go, championship ready now. That's where the Pistons are, but I don't think they're ready right this second.
Not this second, yeah. Man, I'm a big Cade fan, so anytime I can put the Pistons narrative out there, I'll do so. Same thing with Jalen Duren, man. Delaware's own.
Yeah.
Shout out. He went to Roman. He went to Roman.
Yeah. I know.
And that was a fun team, bro. That was a fun. They had the kid from LSU, Justice Williams, was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was a fun team. You remember that
Yeah.
Roman team? That was good stuff.
Duren doing his thing this year, man.
We are going to take a short break here on 98.5 WNUW. Don't go anywhere. Rel and I are going to be wrapping it up just after the break, so stay tuned. Welcome back to 98.5 WNUW. We are here inside the station. Time is 9:52 in the... Oh, give me 1 second here as I'm just trying to fix the Zeta real quick. Is playing. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I had to stop that real quick. We had that in our ears. Just give me one moment to put that on pause. Okay. So the time is 9:52 in the morning. We are finishing up here on Friday. My name is Owen. With me is Rel. I'm going to be in here pretty much every Friday from 9 to 10 in the morning, waking you up, getting ready for the weekend. Last night was Thursday night football. That's right. And surprisingly enough, the Texans were able to defeat the Bills in Houston. During the break, Rel, we were talking about Josh Allen. It looks like he is 1-4 against the Texans in his career.
Very, very unfortunate for Josh, but I really like what DeMeco Ryans is doing with the Houston Texans. I think he's a really good head coach defensively ever since he's gotten there. That's been one of the best defenses in the league, and I think this year, statistically, they're literally the best. And they're sitting at 6-5 with, some people will say, average QB play. So that really just shows what, DeMeco Ryans is really doing. For Josh Allen, this is, this game kind of hurts his MVP case. I was big on Josh Allen MVP. I thought he was having a really great year, and considering that he doesn't have the names, the typical guys on the outside like the other MVP candidates do, I thought last year was deserving, and maybe he might go back to back, but that one hurts, that one stings.
Unfortunately for Josh Allen, I needed him in fantasy last night, and he did not score any touchdowns. He put up 2 interceptions on road to a 230-yard performance. Not great. James Cook did pretty well for me, but, when Josh Allen's getting swallowed up and getting sacked 8 times, that's what it says. It felt like 100. That is not good. I'm looking at the division right now for the Texans. With that big win, it moves them, as you said, to 6-5, and now the Jaguars have a huge game coming up. If the Jaguars win that game, they are 2 games ahead of the Texans, which could be pretty big, but if they lose, they'll be tied right there with them. The Colts are atop that division at 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to really fall off for the Texans to want to get going at that first spot. But the thing that stands out to me is 182 points against for the Texans. The next closest team in that division has 206. So, yeah, you're speaking to that defense. They're absolutely playing well. That pass rush has been great. Will Anderson from Alabama has been absolutely unbelievable. Extremely difficult player to guard on the defensive end. They're coming off a 3-game win streak. How about those Texans, man? How about it? I can't believe Josh Allen looks so horrible, though.
Yeah.
I mean, James Cook.
D'Amico has his number,
James Cook was able to get things done on the ground, but absolutely nothing going through that. I mean, Shakir picked up 110 yards, but no end zone call, and nobody else even came close to his 8 receptions on the team. They do have Dalton Kincaid out, remember?
Yeah, he is injured.
His safety valve.
And, I think that what the Bills organization needs to do is bring in another guy at receiver. Last year, or was it 2023, they tried to bring in, aging Amari Cooper, and it's just like you have a prime MVP type of quarterback. I personally believe Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league. So you have one of the best players in the entire National Football League, and they're not doing things to improve the roster. Coming into the past few years, we have up and down expectations for the Bills just because the roster, but they have Josh Allen, and when you got that guy, he makes the whole thing go. So I think that he's been able to cover up a lot of their other positions, but hey, it always shows in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but,
it can only take you so far.
Absolutely, the Superman act.
Yeah,
it's not gonna always go great.
And you make a good point about the Texans as well with their quarterback play. How much longer can the defense carry them? Because surely Davis Mills is not a playoff caliber quarterback. I know they're saying the C.J. Stroud concussion isn't that serious, but worst case scenario, play devil's advocate, something else happens, like he takes another hit, like Tua did as soon as he came back. Last year he took a hit. That would get extremely sticky for the Texans, pretty much immediately. But hey, man, that was a big matchup last night. I'm very surprised that the Texans were able to get away with the win. I do respect defense, though. Defense wins football games. We love D'Amico Ryans as he is an ex-Eagle. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, that played in our ears. I didn't mean to do that to you, bro.
You're good, bro.
I just hit the button again, and it did the cock-a-doodle-doo noise again. So apologies, but that's gonna be our cue to wrap it up here this morning. I didn't think that I had the what's it called? The fader all the way up like that. I'm sorry. Okay, so that'll wrap it for us here this morning. Owen and Rel in the morning, 9 to 10 on this Friday. Hopefully you're able to tune in next week here on 98.5 WNUW. We got all kinds of good music in the library. We got all kinds of chatter on the way. So enjoy your weekend, everybody. We're signing off.